January, I'll be starting my third and final term, representing the district where I was raised and continue to call my home is one of the greatest privileges of my life. In the next 4 years, I will endeavor to deliver an ambitious agenda that ensures our community prospers long after I'm out of the office. Let me start by thanking Yang Zhang and her entire team at Flushing Library for graciously hosting this event. This library is the heart of our community, and after more than 5 years of being closed, it's great to have this amazing auditorium once again, serving as a vibrant gathering place for culture, creativity, and civic life in our community. Let's give a round of applause for that. When it was reopened this past summer, I knew immediately that I wanted to hold my State of District address here. And let's give another round of applause for the musicians from the youth orchestra. Every time I see them perform, I'm amazed by their artistry and dedication. I also want to thank all of you, whether you are a constituent, a not-for-profit partner, and a community leader, or a public servant, for attending today's event. Over the past 4 years, my focus has been ensuring that services and resources reach every corner of our community, and together we worked hard to bring meaningful programs to support District 20. More importantly, we deliver these services in multiple languages, including Mandarin and other Chinese dialects, Korean, and Spanish to better serve our immigrant communities. I believe that expanding access to local government goes hand in hand with inspiring civic participation in our immigrant communities. And in our immigrant community like ours, people too often neglect regular medical checkups. So I partnered with several local organizations to provide free health services throughout the year. Through a partnership with the American Italian Cancer Foundation, Flushing Lions Club, and Chinese Share, we booked a mammogram bus to Flushing on 2 separate occasions to provide free breast screenings for women over 55. I worked with New York Presbyterian to provide free flu shots, partnered with Charles B. Wang Community Health Center to promote hepatitis B prevention and treatment, and provided funding for near-monthly mental health first aid training courses in partnership with KCMB, which equips participants with skills to recognize the signs of mental illness. Mental health remains a sensitive topic to discuss in our community. Families are hesitant to acknowledge when their loved ones are struggling, and we tend to ignore or downplay signs when individuals struggle with mental health. I am proud of the long-running partnership between my office and KCMB to shed light on the struggles of those with mental illness. And if you haven't already attended a class, I encourage you to do so and share that knowledge with your friend and family. KCMB. Yay, KCMB, thank you. In addition to the free legal resources offered in my office, I work with the New York Legal Assistance Group to provide the services where people live and work. The mobile legal van made several visits to our district, and attorneys visited senior centers to host estate planning workshops and to prepare transfer on death deeds to make it easier for people to leave property to their loved ones. Flushing is home to one of the largest senior populations in the city and one of the most diverse. Like many of your parents, my mother wants to stay in Flushing throughout her golden years. She loves the convenience and access to familiar grocery stores, but she also wants to be able to go to a dentist, bank, or pharmacy, and know that the staff speaks Chinese. Seniors work their entire lives to raise us and raise up our community. It will be an ongoing priority of mine to make sure they enjoy their well-earned retirement. This year, I was excited to partner with QCAN to deliver performances and classes to our seniors. There was decoupage at Berkeley 9, concerts at Flushing House and Latimer Gardens, and Zumba classes at Self-Help, Ben Rosendahl, and more. Hard-working entrepreneurs and business owners are the backbone of our local economy, and supporting them has been a priority of mine since taking office. I'm proud of my partnership with the Queens Chamber of Commerce. which gives our small business owners access to a specialist from the Small Business Resource Network in my office twice a month. But it's not all work. We also want to give our community a chance to play hard. And for the first time this year, I hosted the unbelievable back-to-school block party outside my district office. We welcomed dozens of groups to share resources and school supplies, had live performances including martial arts, music and dance, and had hundreds of local residents stop by and say hi and learn about everything from fire safety to insurance information. The fun continued just a few weeks later with the annual Fall Festival in Casino Corridor Park. Event that gets bigger and better every year thanks to some amazing community partners and the hard work of Leon and her team at Glow Cultural Center. In the fall, we worked with the Hotel Chinese Association to give away hundreds of backpacks and school supplies at the start of the school year. At Thanksgiving, we distributed nearly 600 turkeys, gift cards, and thousands of pounds of vegetables thanks to the generosity of organizations doing vital work in our community. We hosted 2 e-waste recycling events at Queens Botanical Garden to help people dispose of their unwanted electronics legally and safely, as well as textiles and old paint. It has always been important to me to meet you where you live in the heart of our neighborhoods. Every interaction, every story you share reminds me of why I love this district and why I'm so committed to its success. 2025 was an amazing year, and in 2026, I'm determined to continue fighting for the resources, services, and investment that will make this community an even better place to live, to work, and to raise a family. For the second year in a row, I had the privilege of serving on both the City Council's budget negotiation team and leadership team. These roles give me a seat at the table where tough decisions are made, and I use the opportunity to fight for the investments that reflect the value and the needs of our community. One of those initiatives I'm most proud of this year's budget is the creation of the Culturally Pacific Gender-Based Violence Initiative, which will dedicate $3 million specifically to organizations providing cultural competent services to immigrant survivors of domestic violence. As a former attorney who worked closely with survivors, I saw firsthand how life-changing it is when someone in crisis is connected to a service provider who not only speaks their language, but understands their culture, their fears, and the barriers they face. Organizations like the Korean American Family Service Center and Garden of Hope, right here in Flushing, do this vital work every day. This funding recognizes that culturally competent care is not a luxury, it is essential. To further help New Yorkers trapped in abusive programs, the City Council this year allocated $2 million to provide legal assistance for divorce proceedings. These efforts recognize a simple truth. No one should be forced to remain in an abusive situation because they lack financial means to leave. Through these initiatives, we are giving survivors a real pathway to safety, stability, and independence. As a second initiative, I fought for this year's budget and invested $2.5 million to support the implementation of an Asian American and Pacific Islander history curriculum in New York City public schools. In 2023, I was proud to work alongside the Asian American Education Project, United Federation of Teachers, and 1199 SEIU to bring an API history curriculum to PS 244. That effort showed us what is possible when students see their histories reflected accurately and meaningfully in the classrooms. With this new funding, my hope is to replicate that model in schools across New York City, so more children, regardless of their background, benefit from a more inclusive, honest, and complete education. When students learn about each other's history, we cultivate empathy, understanding, and respect. And that's how we prepare the next generation to lead a city as diverse and vibrant as ours. These two initiatives prove that equity requires intention, and leadership means using every tool available to deliver real results for the people that we serve. This term, we also made a significant investment in reshaping the physical buildings of Flushing, and I hope you all enjoy groundbreakings. First, Speaker Adrian Adams and I partnered together to contribute $1.3 million to fund the construction of AFI's brand new Union Street Cultural Hub, located at 3534 Union Street, right across the street from Flushing High School. This funding will turn old space into a permanent home for Asian American Art Center's impressive collection, as well as provide space for educational programming and community events that celebrate Asian American culture. I'm excited to work with both AFI and the Asian American Art Center to provide our young people the chance to engage with arts and learn more about the diversity of Flushing. Just down the street, Flushing Town Hall has served as a landmark in Flushing for over 150 years. This beautiful building serves as the seat of the government in the village of Flushing from 1862 until 1898, where Flushing became a part of the city of New York. This building was listed as New York City's landmark in 1968 and placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1972. Unfortunately, its stately front portico is falling apart, posing a danger to the public and putting this historic building at risk. Together with Speaker Adams and Queen's delegation, we were able to secure $1.88 million for the restoration of this portico to ensure that this building stands as a testament to Flushing's history for centuries to come. The Flushing YMCA is particularly close to my heart, and long before I took office, I was a member of the Y, forging meaningful, lasting connections there. I eventually joined this board, a role that I held until I had to step down after being elected. Unfortunately, we all know the current building is a bit well-loved, in need of a makeover. Well, we are doing more than that. I joined Sharon Greenberger, the president and CEO of the YMCA of Greater New York, the Flushing YMCA team, and the board, Helen Lee of F&T, to announce the construction of a brand new YMCA as a part of Phase 2 of Flushing Commons, and to celebrate the $1 million in funding for the new Flushing YMCA allocated in this year's budget. This funding will help outfit the new 62,000 square feet facility where new generations of kids will learn to swim and seniors will learn to stay fit. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you join me in the weight room and on the treadmills. In 2025, we also made critical investments in our community's open space. And again, in partnership with our speaker, I secured $6.3 million investment in Peck Park. This funding will completely renovate the multi-purpose play area and tennis and handball courts near the intersection of Park Avenue 189th Street. We will also address the long-standing drainage issues that have plagued the courts for years. And just last week, I joined the school construction president and CEO Nina Kubrata, the borough president Donna Richard, and Assembly Member Ron Kim to break ground on a brand new Levitt's Park. The athletic field at Levitt's Park are used by teams of the Flushing High School campus. I first heard of the need for the new field 4 years ago at the Veritas Academy Legislative Breakfast, where students shared that the athletic fields were in dire need of repair. I was able to allocate $1 million for the construction of this new field, and I can't wait to see what the students once again practicing and playing as they compete for new championships for Flushing. Like so many projects, both of these were results of tireless advocacy of neighbors who reached out to my office time and again to share their concerns and issues. We must do everything in our power to ensure that public spaces, especially those near our school, are safe for everyone in our community. We all remember the horrific incident in Casino Corridor Park in June of 2024, where a teenage girl was sexually assaulted in broad daylight near two schools. One of the key pieces of evidence that led to the arrest of the perpetrator was a photo recovered from a nearby security camera. In fiscal years 2024 and 25, I was able to secure over $500,000 for the 109 precinct to purchase Argus security cameras. Following this disturbing incident and others, including the violent assault of 2 girls in the same section of the park this year. I wrote a letter to Mayor Eric Adams, calling on him to direct the NYPD to use the money that I allocated to install these cameras in Casino Park. This year, we announced that there are now 7 new cameras in the park near IS-237 and the East-West International School. I also want to acknowledge an ongoing challenge that you have all heard me talk about before: sidewalk congestion. Flushing sidewalks are crowded. We are home to one of the largest commercial corridors in the city, one of the busiest subway stations and trendy bus lines. People want to live here and want to shop here, and they want to come and eat here. However, the number of vendors and businesses blocking the sidewalk creates real challenges for residents and visitors alike. We did make progress. Thanks to legislation I passed, bad actors who block our sidewalk with tables and merchandise now face fine up to $500 if they repeatedly ignore the city's warning, regardless of stoop stands. We also successfully brought the NYPD and Sanitation Department back into vendor enforcement, leading to a decrease in the number of vendors when I first took office. Today, there is a daily enforcement of illegal vendors in downtown Flushing. In a 2-week period in August alone, close to 40,000 pounds of confiscated goods were taken from vendors operating illegally in the no vending zone. But I know this remains a major issue. Many vendors simply just ignore the fines and consider them a cost of doing business. Unfortunately, this does not result in a long-term solution for Flushing. A real and lasting solution will require interagency cooperation and a coordinated response. We need a comprehensive reform of the vending system. I'll be working over the next 4 years to find a way forward that serves both the businesses and the community. Flushing is growing in popularity, and people want to make it their home. But we need more housing. A persistent issue I hear from people is their struggle to pay for housing. The citywide vacancy rate at a historic low of 1.4%. Our neighbors are increasingly forced to live with multiple families in one unit or in an illegal and dangerous basement apartment. The answer is that we need more housing. We need more all types of housing. We need more affordable housing for seniors. We need more 2- and 3-bedroom apartments for families. We need more 1-bedroom and studio apartments for single people and couples. In order to build more housing, we in the City Council need to be creative and proactive. For too long, we let the mayors and developers propose rezonings and we pass them as they come. This is why in January 2026, I'll be sending a letter to the Department of City Planning, Mayor-elect Madani, and our next City Council Speaker, Julie Menon, asking for their partnership with our community in creating a new vision for the Flushing manufacturing districts. In recent years, we've seen the development of College Point Boulevard and 35th Avenue. Both here on the other side of the creek in Willis Point, housing is replacing all manufacturing areas. I would like to see this energy continue. The manufacturing areas west of Linden Place and between Van Wyck and College Point Boulevard, south of Skyview, together represent the next big opportunity to fuel affordable housing construction. This area is already being eyed for development. Instead of approaching it in a piecemeal fashion by rezoning individual lots, which is currently what's happening, I hope with your support, as well as the mayor-elect and the speaker, we could create a comprehensive plan that will build thousands of homes for both old and new neighbors. Because this area would be rezoned, from day one, there would be a minimum required percentage of affordable housing. At the same time, many seniors are unable to afford even the rents required under the city's affordable program. Many have worked jobs without pensions or 401ks or struggle to make ends meet for decades and have been unable to save. Many of our immigrant senior neighbors work later and later into their golden years because they can't afford to retire. They may have complex health needs that prohibit them from living alone. And that's why we'll be seeking opportunities to partner with not-for-profits in our district to build supportive senior housing. Last year, I helped fund the construction of a new senior affordable housing project at Self-Help Benjamin Rosenthal that could serve as a model for this type of project, infilling parking lots and identifying underutilized spaces for new housing. To all the not-for-profits in the audience, come with me to your ideas. I would love to hear from all of you, because I'm ready to partner so we could put the shovels in the ground and house our neighbors. Of course, new homes means new needs. Hope that by doing this as a neighborhood and as a single plan, we could also push for resources the community needs to cope with an increase in density. We could open a dialogue about what we would like to see in neighborhoods. Everything for better transportation options, sewer upgrades, additional green space, more school seats, or new businesses that reflect the needs of today's Flushing. One of my priorities will be ensuring that these homes welcome families, and that means not only constructing more 2- and 3-bedroom apartments, but ensuring our schools have the seats and resources to welcome a new generation of students. This year, we are breaking ground on a new 696-seat elementary school on 45th Avenue, the first new school constructed in Flushing in decades. We also added an annex to Flushing, the Francis Lewis High School in 2022, adding 555 seats to one of the most overcrowded and desirable schools in Queens. But we can do more. I'm actively working with the School Construction Authority to identify other locations where cities could build either new schools or expand existing ones. Our students will not be left behind. In addition to schools, we have to think about what makes people love our community. Of course, the hot pot, the Korean barbecue are a big part of it for me, as for many others. But our green spaces are what makes our community so unique. People love to walk around Casino Lake and see the leaves changing. They want to play tennis or gather with friends for a game of cricket at Casino Park. They want to see their kids playing softball in Peck Park or running through Queens Botanical Garden. These parks are so close together and border the Flushing Meadow Corona Park and Cunningham Park, yet they're disconnected. As a runner myself, I know how difficult it can be to get from one to another when you're crossing major streets like Main Street, College Point, or Utopia Parkway. Within Casino Corridor Park, there isn't a path at all. This is why I made funding to the East Queens Greenway a priority of mine. This is my last term in the City Council, but before my time ends, I am intent on fully funding the entirety of the Greenway through District 20. I want to leave a legacy that makes our community one where people not only want to live, but want to raise a family and grow old. I want to leave a community where everyone from a 20-year-old young professional to an 85-year-old immigrant can afford a home. A community where everybody feels their kids are getting a good education. But if you're going to make this come true, I need your help. I need your support as we engage the incoming mayor on land use decisions that we create for about housing and new opportunities. I need your help in calling in city agencies to break ground on park projects they already funded. And lastly, I need your ideas. Come to me with your thoughts. Not all of them will be possible, but I want to hear what you think our community needs to prosper. As I close, and we are closing, don't worry, this will end in 1 minute, I want to leave you with this. The future of Flushing is not something that happens to us, it's something that we build together. Flushing has always been a place shaped by the generations of people who believe in the opportunities, look out for one another, and invest in the future. That spirit is still alive today. It is our greatest asset. I'm committed to continue this work alongside you, advocating and fighting every day to make sure Flushing remains a community where people not only come to build their lives, but choose to stay, thrive, and grow all together. And thank you for your trust, your partnership, and your belief in Flushing can be. And together, I know our best days are ahead. Thank you for being here today.
So I'm really very happy that a lot of people came out here today. Again, I'm very happy about the support from the community members and not-for-profits. I think, as usual, I do want to let people know that I'm very serious about hearing feedback. It is because of the people in the community who give them the ideas, the thoughts, suggestions, advocacy, that we're really able to make real changes. I'm very happy to deliver my state of district right here, this new auditorium in Flushing Library. It really was closed for 5 years, so it's been under renovation. So I thought it's a great way to let the community know that Flushing Library, the auditorium, it's back. I actually do my state of district address every year because I think it's important since the community supported me, voted for me that I should let them know what I've been up to this year. So one of the most important, challenges that I think the young generation faces today is definitely, mental health issues, mental health struggles. So I was very happy to provide funding to groups that work with that, and moreover, as elected official, to be able to talk about it. I think sometimes in our communities there is a shame, there's a struggle to really talk out loud about these issues. And also the other thing I'm very happy about that I worked with all like the Asian American City Council members, including Julie Wan, Linda Lee, is about investing in the Asian American curriculum. Because I think many times, like myself, when I grew up in the United States, right here in New York City, I didn't see myself when I'm reading a book. I didn't hear my stories. And now it's important that, that kids like, Asian American kids who grew up here, they should be able to see themselves when they're reading a textbook. They should also, their friends will be able to see the different cultures that is at play here, which is what really I think makes New York City so special. Sure. I mean, we're approaching the end of the year, so I want to wish everybody a very healthy, happy new year, and I hope to see everybody again and work with everybody in the new year.